David, what
Thank
do
you.
you make of these accusations? We keep hearing of anti-Semitism at Harvard and even coordination with the Chinese Communist Party at the university. The Trump administration is certainly at war with the university. What has been your on-campus experience?
So thanks for having me, Rita. Obviously, these are very serious allegations and serious issues that I think all people can come and agree that shouldn't be happening in terms of anti-Semitism and any other accusations. I've personally had a fantastic experience. I've always wanted to attend Harvard, and I've had a great time with great academics. And luckily, I did miss most of the protests in terms of Gaza that happened more immediately after October 7 and also last year. But overall, I've had a great time. But as others have mentioned before, free speech is still something that I've encountered and had limited slightly on campus, and that's something that I think these actions from the administration are correct in taking on.
Well, yeah, we do know that treatment of Jews has been fairly horrendous at Harvard, particularly since October 7. You mentioned free speech. What are your concerns with that? Are you concerned about how people with conservative views are treated?
That's definitely the point that I'm referring to. So I think, like many universities across the West, Harvard and others in the US, in terms of the Ivy League, do at times have an environment where it isn't always entirely accepted or looked upon favorably for people to have conservative viewpoints. I have a lot of friends and a lot of fellow students that often aren't comfortable to express viewpoints, given that they are shot down often rapidly and can impact people's academic performance. So it's something that I think really needs to be sorted out broadly across the West, not only at Harvard, but this is something that is so crucial to the continuation of our civilization and the continuing excellence of our academic institutions. People should be able to speak freely, particularly with conservative views, which we know, say, for example, in the US, were the majority at the last election. So I think this is something that people really need to be able to feel comfortable enough, and that comes not only from their fellow students acting respectfully, but also from having academics and professors that are open to these views, won't look to shut them down or penalize them as soon as they're expressed.
Well, it seems incredible that mainstream views, and you said, we've just had an election and Trump won in a landslide, but if you express those views that are held by the mainstream, you can find yourself on the outer at a university like Harvard. Do conservatives self-censor there, or do they speak freely and risk having their marks affected or having hostility from the other students?
I'd say yes, certainly. It's something that people are very aware of. We obviously are prioritizing getting through our degree and getting through it as smoothly and efficiently as possible in terms of academic performance. So people definitely do self-censor in the sense of not fully expressing their views at times in order to try and appease the markers and fellow classmates at times. I've had an instance where I was told that it was better for me not to express conservative views with a specific professor, just given that they had quite an opposite worldview to mine at times, and that it'd just be easier for the class and for my academic performance in terms of that. While those explicit instances might be rare, there is typically a general feeling that it's better just to keep those views to yourself and keep them for the pub after class. But as I said, I think this is something that's happening across the West. It's happening back in Australia, unfortunately, as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's something that, again, I think our broader education system needs to deal with. And really, I think it's an existential thing.
Oh, it's definitely happening right here in Australia. I know plenty of students who self-censor, who put things down in assignments to appease their lecturers who obviously are very left, so they know they've got to get a better mark if they regurgitate those views back to the lecturers. Tell me about that example you just mentioned. Did you end up self-censoring there or not expressing yourself freely to make sure you didn't fall foul of the lecturer?
Well, I did in that, excuse me, I did in that instance. I wanted to get through the class, and I suppose it's about picking your battles. So I did have to in that instance, and I thought I'd be doing
Yeah.
my classmates a favour if I wasn't calling up the lecturer every time they said something.
Well, I mean, I think a lot that's happening a great deal, which is such a shame because university, you should be exposed to diverse views and really be able to engage in some critical thinking. Now, right now, you may be in a bit of limbo along with about 100 other Australian students caught up in Donald Trump's decision to revoke Harvard's Student and Exchange Visitor Program certification. Do you expect to finish your degree at Harvard? We've had the US Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, just saying recently she needs Harvard to show that they are serious about combating anti-Semitism and to better screen foreign students. Do you expect to finish your degree at Harvard?
I definitely do. Yeah, so I'm on track to finish at the end of August. I've finished my exams, and now in the next few weeks, I've got a practical internship component. My understanding is that a lot of the provisions and a lot of the talk from the administration at the moment is particularly centred upon incoming students who'd be coming in August later this year. So in terms of current students and people like myself that are finishing off their degree at the moment.
Well, let's hope that is the case because we'd like you to see you finish. But I think the policy to better screen foreign students is one that is fairly popular with the Trump base. So I think they're going to stick to that. David Hogan, thank you so much for your time tonight. Thanks for joining me.